Good morning, students. Good morning, my dear students.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Today we are going to discuss very interesting topic, that is a corolla. What is corolla and what is the components of corolla? Then how this corolla are arranged in a flower. That is called the Aestivation. So today we are going to discuss two topics. One is a corolla and another is an Aestivation. And what is the meaning of Aestivation and what is its types, right? We are going to discuss only two topics today, right? First of all, let me take corolla. What is corolla? Corolla actually it's nothing but it's a number of petals in a flower. It is called a corolla. The picture in which you see the arrangements of petal, right? Which is the most attractive part of the flower. That is called a corolla, right? So as we have discussed previously, the outermost layer of flower, that is called the sepal, right? Sepals are nothing but it is the outermost one of flower which covers all the floral parts inside of the flower, right? So a group of sepal is called the calyx. Previously the topic has been discussed. And let us continue. The most attractive part of the flower, that is called a corolla. What is it called? It is a corolla, or a group of petal is called a group of, each one is represented as a petal. What is petal? A group of, what is petal? The petal is the most attractive part of the flower. Students, what is petal? What is petal? Petal is the most
attractive part of flower.
Very good. So a group of this most attractive part of the flower is collectively known as a, simply you can say, corolla. Now each one is represented as a petal. Right? So now we are going to discuss about what is petal and what is its collection, that is called corolla, and what are the types of corolla which are occurring in plants, right? That we are going to discuss, right? So as I said, corolla is nothing but a group of petal, which is the most attractive part of a flower, that also helps in pollinating agent in order to transfer pollen grain from anther to stigma. So that is called simply corolla. Talking about corolla, just imagine I have shown a flower in which you find the green portion is called the sepal, that is the outermost wall of a flower, and followed by you can see the attractive part of the flower, which is very colored, brightly colored, beautiful colored in nature, that is called the petal. A group of petal, simply a group of petal is called a corolla. What is corolla simply? Please understand, my dear student. What is corolla? A group of petal, or simply I can say a number of petal. A number of petal in a flower is said to be as a corolla. Corolla is nothing but it is the second wall of a flower, which is the most attractive part of the flower, and which is grow like a brightly colored in nature, and that also attracts insects or pollinators, and it also helps in pollination process by which these petals are attracting some insects for transfer, taking off pollen grain from one flower to another. That's why this is a corolla which plays a major role in attracting pollinators, right? In flower. In most of the angiospermic group, you can say the corolla is the most attractive part of the flower, right? So on seeing any flower, you can find, okay, the attractive part of the flower is, you notice, plain corolla. Okay. So this corolla is broadly divided into two types. What are they? And based on the fusion of corolla, my dear student, just imagine, sometimes the petals are free in nature, sometimes the petals are fused at the base. So based on the simply fusion, the petals are, or the corolla are divided into two types based on fusion. So corolla can be classified into several types based on many criteria. But here one of the criteria is taken. What is it? Based on the fusion of petal in a flower, right? That is called simply one of the criteria by which we can classify corolla into two types. What are the two types? The first type is polypetalous, and the second type is gamopetalous or polypetalous. It is also known as, simply you can say, apopetalous. Apopetalous. Similarly, you can say apopetalous is also called, simply you can say, polypetalous. Polypetalous. So when I go for classification of plants, this character has been highly considered by taxonomists in classification of plants, right? So those plants are having, the petals are free without the fusion, right? It is called the polypetalous, or it is also known as the apopetalous. Apo means the petals are originated freely in a flower. That is called the apopetalous, or poly means free. The petals are originated in a flower freely without fusing at the base. So that is called the polypetalous, right? If you take Hibiscus rosa sinensis, in which you can find the petals are or a sepal and the petals are free in nature. In beginning itself, I think you have seen a flower that is a Hibiscus rosa sinensis, in which the petals are freely, right? They are freely originated. This is a structure already I have shown you, dear students, right? It is a polypetalous. What is it called? Polypetalous, because the petals are freely originated, right? So this is called a polypetalous. Repeatedly I'm saying, it is a petal. The petals are originated in a flower, right? So freely, that is called a polypetalous. Whereas gamopetalous means the petals are fused at the base. So it is also known as a sympatalous, right? It is also called as sympatalous. Sympatalous, nothing but it is also known as, simply I can say, gamopetalous. Gamo means union, or the petals are fused at the base or at the top, right? So that is called simply gamopetalous. Gamo means union, petalous means petal. That means the petals are fused at the base, right? If you take any flower in which the petals are fused at the base or throughout the limb, right? So this is called the gamopetalous. So those plants are having this jointed petal or the fused petal in a flower, which is said to be a simply gamopetalous. So based on this polypetalous and the gamopetalous, in angiospermic group, the plants are classified into mainly two that they are polypetalous flower and gamopetalous flower. So this is very important character to be considered at the classification of plant, right? When you go for taxonomy, you can understand, because I'm going to use repeatedly polypetalous and the gamopetalous flower. So while describing any flower, the type of flower is the polypetalous or gamopetalous flower, right? So while teaching this topic, you can remember, please understand repeatedly, right? Okay, now I'm going to give an example for gamopetalous. So if you take a datura metal, right, which is white in color, this is a datura metal or white color flower. If you take this is a datura metal. I think these flowers that you have seen everywhere is a datura metal, right, my dear students? You can understand now this is a flower which is a white in color. This white color flower, it has many petals. I think there will be 5 petals, but all the petals are fused at the base, not only from the base, but also, right? This is a petal. So the petals are fused or joined, simply joined petals, which are classified under sympatalous or gamopetalous. I repeat once again. Sympatalous, nothing but sym means union or fused. The petals are fused, right? at the base or from the middle portion or from the top of the flower, right? So here in this case, in Datura metal, I have given an example for sympetallus or gimmapetalus, right? That is a Datura. I like to give an example that is a Datura flower. So in Datura flower, which is white in color, all the petals are fused or jointed petal, right? So that is called a sympetallus or gamopetalus, right? Please understand. Polypetalus, or it is also known as the apopetalus. For that, I have given a very suitable example, that is a hibiscus, right? What is it, sir? Hibiscus. Hibiscus rosa sinensis. It is a binomial of China rose, right? China. If you go to China, you can see that is a very interesting flower in China. So it is originated from China to India, right? That is a China rose or Chinese rose. Hibiscus rosa sinensis. It is called in Tamil Samprati. That is the best example for apopetalus because the petals are freely originated without joining, without fusion, right? Whereas sympetallus means the petals are fused, or you can say jointed petals in a flower, that is called sympetallus or gimmapetalus. For that, I can give an example, Datura metal, right? It is simply white in color in the flower, right? Okay, in sometimes the petal and sepals are not differentiated with each other. Such a condition that is called the perium. Dear student, please understand. In some cases, you can find undifferentiation of sepal and petal. You know very well, I have explained the sepals are white, green in color, and the petals are most attractive part of the flower, or it is in several color, right? It is a different color, right? So here in some cases, the sepal and the petal, which are not differentiated, simply you can say the sepal, right? Sepal, and the attractive part of the flower, that is the petal, right? The sepal and the petal, which are not differentiated, they are undifferentiated in condition, right? So that is called simply perium. What is it called? Perium. Now, perium is nothing but there is an undifferentiation of sepal and petal, or calyx and corolla. In some members, they are called simply perium. Now, the perium is the outermost whorl of a flower, right? Perium is the outermost. Generally, if you take a flower, there will be, if you take any flower, there will be mainly four parts. One is a calyx. One is a calyx, right? And the other one is a corolla, right? Another one is a corolla. That is the second bird. And third one is a, you know very well, that is a androecium or male reproductive part. And then finally, you find that is a gynoecium or female reproductive part. So this is a simply basic flower in which you find these main parts, right? Like a calyx and corolla. In some plants, calyx and the corolla, which are not differentiated into simply like a green in color or some other attractive part of the attractive color. So simply they are undifferentiated. It's very difficult to differentiate calyx and the corolla. Sometimes it may be considered like a calyx, or sometimes it is considered to be as a corolla due to presence of green or some other color. So such a condition is called a perium. So the perium, which is undifferentiated into sepal, that is a green in color, or petal in a different color. It is undifferentiated part of the flower. So in that type of flower, you can say there are only three parts of it. The one outermost layer is a perium. That is, a perium consists of a group of tepal. The outermost whorl of a flower. Perium is found in a plant, that is in a flower that is said to be a simply tepal. So this is a tepal which shows no differentiation from sepal and petal. Repeatedly I am saying, my dear student, please understand, tepals are modification of sepal and petal. Here it is not differentiated into sepal and petal. Instead, we can use a word that is a tepal. So this is a tepal is the outermost whorl of a flower. In addition to that, you find some other region that is simply, you can say, androecium, male reproductive part, and the gynoecium, that is a female reproductive form. So the period is present in some flower of angiospermic group, in which you find that instead of sepal and petal, you find a tepal. Now tepal is the outermost whorl of a flower. It is sometimes considered to be as a green in color, or sometimes it may be considered as a petal or simply corolla in nature, right? So this is a modification of sepal and petal into tepal. A group of tepal is called perium. That is, a perium is the outermost whorl of a flower. Why I am saying repeatedly? Because it is a modification of sepal and petal. Instead, calyx and the corolla, which are not differentiated into only one whorl of a flower, that is the outermost whorl of a flower, that is a perium, right? So, along with the perium, you find the male reproductive form and the female reproductive form. I mean, the presence of androecium and the presence of gynoecium. In a flower, it is said to be a simply perium. So the perium, it is broadly divided into two types. My dear student, just imagine perium, as I said, it is a modification of calyx and corolla, or it is the undifferentiation of calyx and corolla, or undifferentiation part of sepal and petal. That is called the perium. Because the perium consists of simply tepal, a group of tepal, that is called simply perium. That is the presence of fused tepal or absence of fused tepal, right? So based on the fusion of tepal, it is broadly divided into two types. They are polypilous and gamopilous. My dear student, just imagine, I'm saying repeatedly, right? Here you find sepal and petals are not differentiated. That is a perium. So it's a perium, or it is based on the fusion. It is up to. They are polypilous. The first category is a polypilous. Polypilous. Polypilous means the tepals are freely originated. Dear student, please understand. The tepals are freely. They are not fused at the base, right? It is called the polypilous or apotepalous. It is also known as apotepalous. It is also called as apotepalous. Apotepalous. That means the tepals are freely originated. I mean, the tepal group of tepal is called a perium, which are originated freely, right? That is called the apotepalous. It is also called as a polypilous. I'm going to give an example for each one, right? And talking about gamopilous, right? This is a gamopilous. A gamopilous, nothing but gamo means jointed or united, right? Gamopilous. The petals are fused at the base, right? So that is called the petals are fused. Or tepals. The tepals, right? The tepals are fused. The tepals are fused, right? So simply fused tepals in a flower. That is called the gamopilous. It is also known as gamopilous, is also known as syntepalous, right? My dear student, please understand syntepalous. Syntepalous. Syntepalous means fused tepals. The tepals are fused in a flower. That shows no differentiation between calyx and the corolla, right? So for that, I would like to give an example for apotepalous and synestepalous, right? Let me give an example. For apotepalous, right? I would like to give an example, that is Allium sativum. Allium sativum, in which you find, this is Allium sativum, it's a binomial of garlic, right? Allium sativum. Allium sativum. Allium sativum is an example of apotepalus, and Allium cepa. Allium cepa is a binomial of onion, right? Dear student, please understand Allium cepa. So that is an example of cinetepalus, because the tepals are union in nature, right? Allium cepa, that is a binomial of onion, right? So both of them are example of Perium. Here, the outermost layer is that must be green in color, but instead it shows a different color, right? So that is called simply Perium, or this is a modification of calyx and the corolla, right? So just I have explained about Perium. Perium simply consists of group of tepal. Based on the fusion of tepal, it is up to the polypillus and the gamopillus, or polypillus known as apotepalus. For that, I have given example Allium sativum, in which the tepals are freely originated, whereas in gamopillus, it is also known as a syntepalus. In that, I have given example for that I think Allium cepa, in which fused tepals are formed, right? So that is an example of gamopillus and polypillus. Okay, next we pass on to how these supple petal or tepals are arranged in a bud condition of flower. That is called Aestivation. My dear students, next I am going to talk about Aestivation. Aestivation is nothing but the arrangement of sepal and the petal in a bud condition of flower. Is said to be as simply Aestivation. I repeat once again, it is a mode of arrangement of sepal and the petal. Already I said sepal is a green in color, and the arrangement of petal, the sepal and the petal, which are arranged in a bud condition of flower. In a bud condition of flower, it is said to be as simply Aestivation. I repeat once again, Aestivation is nothing but it is a mode of arrangement of sepal and petal in a bud condition of flower. In a bud condition of flower. In a bud condition of a flower, it is said to be as Aestivation, right? Again, I like to show you the floral parts, right? Just imagine. Once again, just I would like to review to you, right? If you take a flower, I am saying this flower, this is a flower in which you see calyx is outermost layer, and the attractive part of the flower, that is a petal. And here you see the sepal and the petal in a bud condition of flower. How they are arranged? Simply the arrangement of sepal. The sepal is a green in color. Sepal, and the attractive part is called the petal. And the sepal and the petal, which are arranged in a bud condition of flower, is said to be as Aestivation. Dear students, did you understand about Aestivation?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What do you understand about Aestivation?
The arrangement of
sepal and petals in a bud.
Arrangement of sepal and petal in a flower bud is
Petal in a bud condition of flower, right? If you take any flower, in that how the sepal and petals are arranged in that manner is said to be simply Aestivation. Okay, very good. Now the Aestivation is broadly divided into following types. Aestivation, it is of several types. They are imbricate Aestivation, Wallway Distribution, twisted Aestivation. and quincuntial aestivation. So simply the arrangement of sepal and the petal in a bud condition of flower, that is called the aestivation. Now this aestivation is broadly divided into following types, right? So the first type is Wallway Distribution. The second type is twisted distribution. And third type is imbricate distribution. Imbricate. So this imbricate distribution is further classified into following types, right? The first type is ascendingly imbricate distribution. Ascendingly. The second type is quincuntial aestivation. Quincuntial. And third type is maxillary. I repeat once again, aestivation, it is the following types. The first type is the Wallway, the second type is the twisted, and third type is the imbricate. Then imbricate is further classified into following types. The first type is A, ascendingly imbricate aestivation. Second one, quincuntial aestivation. Third one is maxillary imbricate aestivation, right? So first of all, let me take Wallway distribution. What is Wallway distribution? Actually, Wallway distribution is a type of distribution in which there will be 5 sepals which are arranged without overlapping. That is called simply Wallway distribution. My dear student, please understand. There will be 5 sepals. All the sepals are arranged without overlapping. Without overlapping. Right? But their edges slightly touch. Their edges slightly touch at the margin or at the end, right? When they meet their edges, they are slightly touched, but without overlapping. That is called a Wallway distribution, right? Whereas a twisted distribution means there will be 5 sepal or 5 petals are there, but all the petals are arranged with overlapping. Sure, there is a difference between Wallway and twisted distribution. Twisted distribution is a kind of distribution in which the petals are simply overlapping. Right? So that is called a twisted distribution. Whereas the imbricate distribution means all the sepal or petal, either sepal or petal, which are arranged with overlapping, but one is outer and another. If you take it, there will be 5 sepal or 5 petal which are arranged in a bud condition of flower. Just imagine, in which one petal is outer, I mean exterior in condition, and one petal is interior in condition. Remaining 3 petals or sepals are in and out. That means their edges, one end of every petal, every sepal for exterior, and the other end may be interior in nature. So that is called the imbricate distribution, right? Now, as I said, imbricate distribution in which there will be 5 petals or 5 sepals are there. All of them arranged with overlapping, among which one is the exterior, one is the interior, remaining 3 in and out. So such a condition, it is a broadly divided into 3 ascendingly. That means the arrangement of sepal in a petal in a condition that is ascendingly order. Whereas the quincuntial means one is outer and another one is the inner, right? And the remaining 3, right? The 3 petals among which one more petals are also outer. So that is called the quincuntial. Whereas the maxillary, one is totally outer and the lateral and the remaining four petals among these four petals, two petals are arranged just inner and very next at the last a pair of petal which are slightly fused at the base, right? That is called a maxillary. Now I am going to show you the diagram that you can understand what is Wallway, what is a twisted, what is imbricate, and what is consequential aestivation. So first of all, let me take Wallway distribution. So as I said, Wallway is a kind of aestivation in which I am going to show you that you can understand very easily. Wallway distribution is a type of aestivation in which there will be 5 sepals are there, but all the sepals are arranged simply without overlapping, right? This is a arrangement of sepal. Dear student, just imagine in that manner, the floral parts, I mean, a calyx and the corolla are arranged in this manner. Here, each one is represented as a sepal. Each one is represented as a sepal. But all the sepal, they are arranged without overlapping, right? But every sepal consists of edges. Their edges slightly fused at the base, right? Without overlapping. Their edges just met with each other without overlapping. So this is called a Wallway distribution, right? If you take a flower in hibiscus roses sidensis, right? In which you can see the arrangement of sepal in a bud condition of flower. In case of hibiscus roses sidensis, right? In which you find, now this is a flower in which I'm talking about the hibiscus roses sidensis flower, in which the outermost wall of a flower, that is a calyx. Yes, student, please understand. This is a calyx. What is calyx? A group of sepal. The sepal of hibiscus rosa sidensis, which are arranged by Wallway distribution method. That is a Wallway distribution. Hibiscus rosa sidensis, in which the sepals, what are sepal? The green part of the flower in hibiscus rosa sidensis, that is known as a sepal, which are arranged in this manner, right? So that is called the Wallway distribution. I repeat once again, Wallway distribution is a type of aestivation in which there will be 5 sepals are there, but all the sepals are arranged without overlapping, but their edges slightly met or fused at the base, right? So that is called a Wallway distribution. For that, I have given an example. Hibiscus rosa sidensis. In that, the green part of the flower, that is a sepal or a group of sepal, is called the calyx. The calyx is arranged in this manner, Wallway distribution, right? So don't get confused, my dear student. It is very easy to understand. Simply the arrangement of sepal or petal in a bud condition of flower, that is called a aestivation. Particularly, I can say here Wallway distribution means all the sepals are arranged without overlapping, but they are arranged by simply by touching their edges, right? That means the margin of every sepals are fused at the base, right? Without overlapping. That is called the Wallway distribution. Okay, my dear student. Next we pass on to twisted aestivation. Twisted. Actually, twisted aestivation is nothing but twisted aestivation. I'm talking about the second type of aestivation, in which you find there will be 5 petals are there, but all the petals are arranged with overlapping. Just to compare, now this is a petal of hibiscus rosa sidensis or China rose, right? Dear student, please understand. This is a hibiscus rosa sidensis flower in which how many petals are there here? Dear students, please understand, each one is known as a petal. But all the petal number 1, and petal number 2 and petal number 3 and petal number 4 and petal number 5. But all the petals, the group of petals is called a corolla. But all the petals are arranged one above another. Here you can see in the picture, there will be 5 petals which are arranged just one above another. Here you can see one above another. Here the first petal is the one end is at the bottom exterior and another end is interior. So like that, the in and out, in and out. There will be 5 petals. All the petals are arranged in and out, in and out. Hence, it forms like a twisted aestivation. So simply I can say twisted aestivation is a kind of aestivation in which there will be 5 petals. All the petals are arranged with overlapping. Right? For that, I have given example: hibiscus rosa sidensis. Hibiscus, I mean the petals of hibiscus rosa sidensis. Hibiscus rosa sidensis. I'm talking about twisted aestivation. Okay, these petals are arranged. I'm going to show you that is the arrangement, twisted aestivation. When I take a photograph of the top view, right, you can see this arrangement which makes as it is. Now, this is a photograph which has been taken in top view, right? If you take a flower at the top view, right, you can see this is a twisted aestivation. In that manner, there will be 5 petals as I explained, right? All the petals are here. Each one is known as a petal. Dear students, don't get confused. Each one is known as a petal. And every petal consists of 2 edges. Here, edge number 1, right? Edge number 1 and here edge number 2. So these every edge, right? Every edge of every petal is one is the inner and the another one is the outer. Here you can see the first edge of the petal is the exterior in condition, and the second edge of first petal is the interior in condition. So like that, the 5 petals are arranged in and out, in and out. So these in and out are in that manner. The 5 petals are arranged like a twisted aestivation, right? So this is very important word, term, that taxonomical term that we are going to discuss repeatedly while discussing taxonomy, right? So these morphological terms are essential to understand easily what we are going to find out, what we are going to discuss about a particular family. So which are very, very interesting area. Please understand, right? Okay, next we pass on to third type of aestivation, that is imbricate aestivation. Imbricate aestivation. I am talking about third type of aestivation, that is imbricate aestivation. Actually, imbricate is a type of aestivation in which there will be 5 petals or 5 sepals. In the 5 sepal or a petal, one petal is exterior and another petal is totally interior, and remaining 3 petals or 3 sepals are in and out. So that is called the imbricate aestivation. Dear student, please understand, there will be 5 petals or 5 sepals, which one is totally exterior and one is totally interior in condition, right? And remaining 3 in and out. I mean exterior plus interior in condition. Exterior and interior. So such arrangement is called as an imbricate aestivation. I am going to show you the picture that you can understand easily what is the arrangement of imbricate aestivation, right? As I said here, my dear students, please understand, it is a type of aestivation in which there will be 5 sepal or 5 petals are there, in which the one is a totally exterior in condition. One is a totally exterior. I am talking about arrangement of sepal or arrangement of petal, right? And another one is a totally interior in condition. So remaining 3, the second and fourth and fifth or in and out, right? So the first sepal or the first petal is a totally exterior, and the third tepals are totally interior. Every petal, as I said, it consists of two edges. The both edge of every petal or the both edge of a petal is totally interior. And another one petal, it's both margin or edges are totally exterior. Remaining three petals, they have edge. One edge is interior and another edge is out or exterior. So like that, the petals are arranged in this manner. That is called imbricate distribution. So it is very easy to draw, my dear student. Just now, if you take it, there will be 5 petals. I would like to draw. Right now, this is a petal, right? Arrangement of petal. One is a totally interior in condition, right? And another one is a totally. One is a second one is a in and out, right? Just imagine, my dear student, in and out. The next one is, it is also in and out. And fourth one is totally outer. Dear students, totally it is a outer, right? You can draw very easily. On fourth one is last triple, right? That is a. So you can find now this is an arrangement of petal or in a sepal or a petal in a bud condition of flower, right? So that is called, if you take any flower, right? You see. Just imagine now this is a in that manner you find. So dear student, it is easy to draw, right? Some of you may get confused as how to draw, right? And where to start first and where to end next, right? So this is a diagrammatic representation of the imbricate distribution. In that manner, we have to we can draw the imbricate distribution. Just imagine, right? In some plant, in this manner, the floral parts are arranged. I mean, the calyx and corolla, the arrangement of calyx and corolla in this way. So that is called an imbricate distribution, right? So just you can compare the diagram is given in a textbook and then I have drawn the diagram, right? Just compare. It is a diagrammatic representation of arrangement of sepal and a petal. So that is called the imbricate distribution, right? So I'd like to give an example for this imbricate distribution, ascending imbricate distribution and descending imbricate distribution, right? Just imagine, my dear students. If you take a flower, the flowers are arranged in this manner. Just imagine, my dear students. So now this is a flower in which you find the arrangement of petal, right? Dear students, I have drawn the structure of petal, right? In this condition, each one is, as I said, represented as a petal, right? The petals are arranged here. One petal is a totally interior, and another petal is totally exterior, and remaining 3 petals are in and out. I mean, exterior and interior. One end of these 3 petals are exterior, and another end of these 3 petals are interior. So this arrangement of 3 petals shows both exterior and interior. So such arrangement is called as an imbricate distribution, right? Now this imbricate distribution is characterized in some cases as acacia. I'd like to give an example for that. Acacia. Please imagine acacia. It is very interesting. Acacia and dinolix, right? Acacia and dinolix. I'm going to show you the picture that I have collected and brought to you, right? It is very interesting color, interesting topic, right? This is a flower, Acacia fistula. This is Acacia fistula. in which you find the arrangement of flower, right? The arrangement of petal. It is yellow in color. Dear student, please understand. I have given the example of imbricate aestivation, right? In that you find there will be now this is the first tepal, the first petal, right? The petal is totally out there and the petal is totally right. You can see these three petals are in and out, right? Each one is represented as a petal, right? You see Casia fistula. Okay, next we pass on to another type, that is a quinquential type. Quinquential type. Quinquential. It is a type of aestivation. Yes, student, it is a type of aestivation in which I'm going to show you the picture that you can understand easily, right? Two petals are out there, right? Two petals are totally exterior and one petals are totally interior. The remaining two petals are both interior and exterior. Dear student, please understand, in which there will be 5 tepals, among 5 tepals, one is totally interior. I mean, one petals are present just inside, and two petals are exterior in condition, right? And next one is totally exterior. Two petals are totally exterior and remaining two petals are, right? Not one. Next two petals are both exterior and the interior. That is called the quinquential type. For that, I would like to give an example for this guava, right? Pseudium guava is the binomial of Payapada, right? Guava. Just I'm going to show you the picture that you can understand clearly, right? Here, my dear students, these flower in which the flower parts are arranged in this manner, right? Please understand. If you take a Pseudium guava, right? Quinquential type, right? Quinquential type in which there will be 5 petals, totally 2 petals are out there, and 2 petals are in and out, 1 petals are totally interior, 2 petals are exterior, 1 petal is interior, remaining 2 petals are in and out. So that is a nature of quinquential, right? So quinquential is characterized in the case of Pseudium guava, right? Or if you take the diagrammatic representation of flower of quinquential, right? I'm going to show you that you can understand easily. So simply the arrangements of petal in this manner, right? This is a diagrammatic representation of flower. Right? So each one is represented as a petal. Yes, student, each one is represented as a petal, right? So there will be 5 petal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petal. All the petals in which one is 2 petals are totally interior and 2 petals totally out. One is totally out, and remaining 2 petals are in and out, right? That is the nature of a quinquential type. Okay. The next we pass on to last type, that is a maxillary type, right? Here, this is a last type maxillary in which 1 petals are totally outer or exterior in condition, right? Dear students, please understand, it is very easy to draw, right? For that, just I would like to give an example for this, right? In Fabaceae or Clitoria ternaceae. In Clitoria ternaceae or pea plant, B, and the members of Fabaceae or Clitoria ternaceae. Clitoria ternaceae. So this is a Clitoria ternaceae is a right example of maxillary type, right? So this is the type in which the first petal is totally exterior in condition, right? And the second petals are totally interior, right? Here you find totally interior. The next one is a totally, right, at the fused at the base, right? Here you see. So this is a condition where you find, right? And like it is very easy to draw, my dear student. Don't get confused, right? Let me draw once again to you. Just to draw outer exterior petals, right? Then draw another petals, right? Simply you can draw. And the last pair of petals, all the petals are arranged. So in this manner, right? So this is called a maxillary type. Actually, this maxillary type consists of following types, right? The first petal is a large, that is a maxillum. The large petal in Fabaceae family or a Clitoria or pea plant or Clitoria ternaceae, which is very large, that is a maxillum. And the second category, these two petals are arranged very next to their edges, like simply interior in condition. One end is the interior and the another end is the outer exterior. So they are called as an alley or wing petal, right? Only. The third category is a carina. These carina petals are fused at the base, right? So these are different kinds of size and shape of petal in pea plant and B and Clitoria ternaceae. These are different size and shape of petals are arranged just in this manner, that is called a maxillary. Maxillary, what is a large petal, that is a maxilla. And very next to maxillum, you can see alley petal or wing petal, right? And very next to alley petal, you can see the insertion of perineal petal are smaller. The fused petals are just instead of the alley petal or wing petal. So this is the nature of a maxillary, right? If you take a Clitoria ternaceae and bee plants, I'm going to show you one of the example. With that, just to let me finish the portion, right? Dear students, if you take a Clitoria ternaceae in which you can see the wing petals, right? In that you find the large petal is called the maxillum, right? The first one is a maxillum. This is the large one, that is the maxillum, right? And the second category, it is a alley petal, and just the inner side, right? You find the carina petals, right? So thank you for joining, my dear students. Dear students, did you understand today what I taught to you?
Yes, sir. Understand, sir.
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Today we have discussed a number of topics, right? And two topics.
Okay, sir.
Two topics. Just I would like to review once again. Corolla. What is corolla? A group of petal is called the corolla.
Corolla. Corolla.
Based on the fusion,
Group
how
of
many types
petals
are there?
called corolla.
Based on the fusion, how many types are there?
Two types.
Two types.
Two types.
You mention the
Two
types.
Apopetalous,
Petalous.
Talking about Perium, how many types are there in Perium?
Two types.
There are two types.
Two types.
What are they?
Polypilus and Gamophilus.
Gamophilus.
Would you like to give an example for Wallway Distribution?
Hibiscus.
Hibiscus.
Very good.
Hibiscus.
Are you going to give an example for twisted aestivation? Twisted?
Hibiscus.
Hibiscus.
Simple.
Hibiscus roses.
Hibiscus.
Very good.
China rose.
China rose. Very good. Could you give an example for quinquennial type?
Guava.
Goa.
And
Goa.
last one, that is maxillary type. Would you like to give an example for maxillary type?
Victoria and
Very good. So thank you for joining, my dear students.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Please take down.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for joining. I'm going to give
Okay,
you
thank you, sir.
Please take down, right?
Yes, sir.
Thoroughly. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.